Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make a Christmas vegan quiche.
Words can't let them bring you down. Still, silence will.
I think this is actually my first informal vlog for my channel. So if this is your first time visiting my channel, then welcome and feel free to like and subscribe. I'm gonna prepare a vegan quiche this morning and I'm actually running very late. I decided to make a quiche this morning kind of last minute, which is not the best idea, especially when you have so many competing activities during the holiday times. But I decided to make a quiche to serve as a nice breakfast because my boyfriend's kids are coming to decorate the house for Christmas. So apart from the quiche, I'm also going to make a Mexican style hot chocolate. Actually, I have the hot chocolate right here. So let me show you real quick. Again, when you're doing things last minute, like it's better to plan ahead. For the Mexican style hot chocolate, I wanted to get organic cocoa. So just simple organic cocoa with no additives, no sugar, nothing. I was just gonna add everything, all the ingredients separately, but I couldn't find the chocolate, the organic chocolate that I was looking for. Instead, I found this. I've never tried this before, so this is the first time that I'm gonna try it. So this is just hot chocolate from a brand called Silly Cow Farms, which is pretty funny since I'm making the hot chocolate vegan, so I want to make sure that I don't have any dairy in my hot chocolate. But to my surprise, this chocolate is actually pretty good, and it actually serves my recipe because it has cocoa, it has cane sugar and cinnamon, cayenne, and nutmeg. So this is actually pretty perfect because I was gonna use cayenne pepper powder into my hot chocolate as part of the recipe. I might still add a little bit more. I'm also going to add some cracked black pepper because I like my hot chocolate nice and spicy, and I'm gonna make it with soy milk. So again, I'm making the quiche and the hot chocolate to have a nice cozy breakfast while everybody is decorating the house. And I don't know if we're gonna have time to have everything ready before everybody comes, but thankfully my boyfriend is gonna help me out, so let's start. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is actually turn on the oven. You want to preheat the oven, which I actually already did because it's going to take a few minutes to preheat. And again, you want your oven ready to go. So these are the ingredients I need for my quiche. To make it Christmassy, I basically just use Christmas themed colors. So for that I have a red bell pepper, a yellow bell pepper. I'm also going to use some mushrooms, some cherry tomatoes, and these are going to be most of my main vegetables, but I'm actually going to also use some peas. I forgot to take them out. I love sweet peas. So we're going to use about a cup of peas, and this is going to add a whole lot of protein and fiber. For my spices, I'm going to use some fresh chives. I love to cook with chives, a shallot, half a red onion. When it comes to the spices, you can use whatever spices you want. It's really just your preference, and I really like onions, as you can see, so I'm going to use a variety of onions, of course, also fresh garlic, and some vegan shredded cheese, already shredded to save some time. And this is the cheese that I like to use. We're also going to use some just eggs. So if you're vegan or you have vegan friends, you probably already know about this just egg, which is pretty much just an egg substitute, which is made with mostly mung bean, which is actually pretty nutritious in itself. It has a lot of protein and fiber, similar to sweet peas. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use both of them, honestly. I just wanna make sure I can fill up my my pie. So just kind of use whatever amount you need, which is gonna depend on the amount of the other the vegetables and other stuff you're gonna add to your quiche, which is gonna add volume. This is our vegan pie crust. It's just a normal pie crust. I just want to make sure, you know, I want to make sure that it does not have any dairy or anything like that. And then of course, any other spices that you want. Today I'm going to use some black pepper and salt like normal, and then all the other spices I told you about. Okay, so remember that we already have the oven on. You want to make sure that your oven is on and preheating because you need to prepare your pie crust. Okay, so we have our pie and we have to prepare it as such. We're going to press our fork on it because we're going to cover the whole pie with a thin layer of our vegan egg mix. And that will help prepare the pie crust. This is actually pretty easy and pretty fun to do with the family, you know, with kids if you have kids, as a nice family activity for Christmas. Okay, so now I'm gonna get my just egg. You always want to shake it a little bit before you use it. I don't know how you call this, but this is pretty helpful in the kitchen. Okay, so now we're gonna put this in the oven for 20 minutes while we chop our veggies for the quiche. I'm gonna use this baking sheet, and this just helps keep everything neat in the oven, so that's what we're doing today. So I got these cherry tomatoes. I just love how perfect they are because they're so vibrant. I do like to rinse all of my veggies. Sometimes I even rinse them with baking soda and vinegar because I want to make sure everything is extra clean. But with these cherry tomatoes, I'm really just going to rinse them. Now I'm gonna chop some mushrooms. Mushrooms are definitely a must-have for any vegan household. So far this is the progress, guys. I don't know if you can see behind me all of these delicious veggies. So these are most of the veggies that we're gonna use for the quiche. So don't forget to check your pie crust because I was already forgetting about my pie crust. Like, really, I would have just left the pie crust there. So it's looking pretty good. So we're gonna take it out and you're gonna leave the oven on. Okay, so now I'm finally gonna start cooking the veggies. So right now the oil is heating. You wanna make sure that the heat is not very high, right? Because you don't wanna burn your oil. And once it's already like, you know, a decent hot, I will add my onions. So we're just gonna add the onions. These are all of my onions. So the shallots and the red onions. And this is gonna create a nice savory base for the rest of the veggies. My mom always cooks like this. She'll make a nice base with onions and with garlic, and she will make sure that the onions and the garlic are nice and cooked in a little bit of oil before, you know, making most of her dishes, most of her savory dishes, really. And you want to cover them. Ideally, I would wait until they're nice and transparent. So now I'm going to finally add the rest of the veggies. I'm going to start with the bell peppers. Since the bell peppers take longer to cook than, oh, I forgot to add these. Since the bell peppers take longer to cook than the mushrooms, I'm going to let the bell peppers cook a little bit before I add the mushrooms because I don't want to overcook anything. Okay, so I actually decided to add my cherry tomatoes because I want to make sure that everything is drained as much as possible before I add all the vegetables to the quiche. I don't want all that water in the quiche because that's just going to ruin it. So I'm going to add the tomatoes. Okay, so now I'm going to add my mushrooms and everything else I'm going to add. Okay, so while this is cooking, I'm going to go back to the pie crust and prepare it. Let me show you how. Okay, so this is our pie crust. We're gonna add some cheddar cheese on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to, this is the easiest part really. Just make sure you don't overflow your pie with veggies. Now I'm gonna add the just egg, which is the main ingredient that makes this a quiche. I think I'm gonna get my boyfriend to help me actually, because it's kind of hard to do this and record at the same time. This is pretty easy because the eggs are just going to spread throughout the veggies. Now what you wanna do is top it off with some more vegan cheese. Okay, so now the pie is ready to go in the oven. You want to leave it there for 45 minutes to an hour, and you want to keep an eye on it and start checking it after 45 minutes. While the quiche is in the oven, we're going to start our hot chocolate. Okay, so first I'm going to measure the milk. I like to use this Silk organic soy milk. So in this case, it's 4 people. So I'm gonna add 4 cups of soy milk, and I'm not going to fill it up too much because what I'm gonna do is add 4 cups of soy milk and an extra cup of just water. The reason why I'm adding water is because once your soy milk heats up and starts to boil, it's going to lose a lot of water. Right? So it's going to reduce the amount that you first measured. So I know that the chocolate that I showed you has cinnamon and cayenne pepper, but I want to add a little bit more cinnamon, a little bit more cayenne pepper, because I really want it nice and spicy. One way to check your quiche is to just stick a knife or a toothpick to see if any of the egg is still runny. Okay, so I ran into a little problem. I think that these mugs are too big for the little candy cane spoons. Okay, so I found these smaller mugs. They're not very Christmassy, but again, I wanted to showcase the candy cane spoons. So that's what we're gonna work with this morning. I just like to measure with my heart, so I'm literally just going to add some chocolate to my soup spoon. So I'm gonna add this amount and taste it, and if it needs more, I'm gonna add more. And even if I'm rushing, I'm gonna try to add some intention into my hot chocolate. I think that if you add intention into what you cook, everything tastes better. So I really believe in that, and just taking like a few seconds and just add positive intentions of love and peace into what you're doing. I love how spicy it is. Oh my god. My hot chocolate is perfect. I'm gonna maybe add a little bit more magic, and it is perfect. I'm vlogging.
Sorry to photo bomb here.
Okay.